What will institutional adoption actually do for the price of XRP? In this video, that's what I want to talk about because for a long time, we have been stuck in speculative cycles in the cryptocurrency market. And one of the things that's really yet to be answered is what happens when we actually have a wave of institutional adoption of this asset class. In this video, I want to talk about what that would do to the price of XRP, and as well as show you guys that this institutional adoption is coming much faster than many people truly understand. In this video, we're going to cover everything you need to know about that, so make sure to stick around for this whole thing. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Thank you to everyone who takes the time to like these videos and subscribe to the channel. These two simple things really do help me out so much. Also, if you have any good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange uphold down in the description of this video. With that said, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. I want to start out this video and just quickly talk about this institutional adoption that's coming, because for a long time, not a lot of people truly understood what institutional adoption was. We obviously had massive speculative cycles in the cryptocurrency market, but the biggest institutions with all the money really weren't able to get into cryptocurrency. They were essentially barred from buying the asset, they were barred from talking about the asset, and in fact, even today, as a financial advisor and at a traditional custodian or traditional institution, you can't even talk about cryptocurrency with most of your clients. That is changing in a massive way, because as regulations are rolled in, not only will they be able to talk with their clients and get larger investors into this ecosystem, but more importantly, these institutions with hundreds of billions of dollars on their balance sheet will be able to directly purchase cryptocurrencies. Now, one of the things I've been saying for a while is most of these big institutions are used to dealing with actual financial products or traditional financial products, equities, bonds, derivatives, all of these things that they think have real value to them. And one of the reasons why I've always thought XRP will be such an easy and obvious choice for these institutions is because of XRP's real world utility. These large institutional investors look for things that are actually being used, actually have a material impact on society, and are going to be beneficial to the financial system. And I believe it's going to be a no-brainer to most of these institutional investors when they see XRP and what XRP can do. For a while, because of the Ripple SEC case, a lot of this institutional money was really being focused on Salana, which I always thought was interesting because it's not to say that anything's wrong with Salana, but when it comes down to the makeup of the network, I don't think there's really much of a comparison. The XRP ledger is far superior, especially for where it's being positioned. Salana, while it has capabilities that could make it useful to institutions, it's really not being marketed to that sphere. It's not really being put in front of them. Instead, it's a lot of retail activity, a lot of meme coins, a lot of pump and dumps and stuff like that. For the XRP ledger, it's actually very different because Ripple is going to meetings with these large institutions. They're meeting with the people that matter. They're building partnerships with banks, with real companies in the world to use cryptocurrency technology for its full intended use case. And because of that, we've actually seen a massive flip. For the first time ever, we are seeing institutions actually focusing more on XRP than Salana because they saw Ripple beat the SEC in court. They saw all these things starting to play out and that the XRP community has been talking about forever. And without the Ripple SEC case hanging over XRP, there is absolutely no reason why any institutional investor would favor something like Salana over XRP. There's nothing wrong with Salana, like I was saying, but when it comes down to the health of the network, the longevity, the technology, it's really not comparable. And with that said, it's not just me saying that. I think it's really important to understand this. This is one of the best things I have ever seen in terms of really understanding what institutions think about things like XRP. And this was an excerpt from a JP Morgan internal paper. What it says is XRP can be used to facilitate transactions of many kinds, including fiat currency exchanges, commodity trading, and even cryptocurrency trading. Low transaction fees, rapid transfer times, and an array of other use cases have made XRP a favorite for banks. RippleNet, a network of banks that have partnered with Ripple to facilitate rapid transfer of funds, have even reduced and even eliminated traditional needs for things like pre-funding in cross-border payment transactions. Currently, the Ripple network includes over 100 financial institutions, including Bank of America, American Express, Santander, to name a few. It goes on to say that if XRP can get out of legal troubles with the SEC and Ripple can beat the SEC in court, XRP is poised for significant adoption. So it's not just us in the XRP community saying this. It is obviously a view that's shared by some of the most important and largest financial institutions out there. And that's why I think with the Ripple SEC case coming to an end, this kind of adoption really is a no-brainer. They understand these things going on in the background. They see it. They know who's partnering with Ripple and using things like XRP. And they are simply going to be left behind if they're not investing in that disruption. Like I said, it's not to say that some of these other technologies aren't good, but where Ripple is already positioning XRP is light years ahead of the rest of the industry. And I think this is just a funny way to kind of put it. Take a look at what Brad Garlinghouse and Stuart Alderati have been up to recently, right? Landing institutional partnerships, meeting with President Trump, doing the things that matter, all while we have things like this going on with Ethereum, right? And it just kind of begs the question, how could anyone, like we talked about earlier, who is investing billions, hundreds of billions of dollars, be looking at something like this and say, okay, this is where I want to trust my money versus something like this? In my eyes, it's not even close. And that's why when you look at all the catalysts for XRP, when you look at where Ripple is positioning the asset, it's really a no-brainer in my eyes that these large institutions are going to understand XRP far better than anything else. Because one of the things in finance that you will constantly hear is show me the money. Where is this technology actually being used? What is it being used for? How much value is it acquiring because of the technology that is underpinning the new rails that is being incorporated in? Those are the things that really matter, and that's what's going to resonate with Wall Street and these large institutional investors. And in my opinion, this is the type of stuff that's going to put something behind XRP's price that no other crypto asset will really be able to achieve in the same way that XRP will be able to achieve it. One of the things that obviously a lot of people are watching right now is XRP breaking out on the yearly chart. Guys, this chart is brand new. It's going to make a lot more sense why I'm showing you this right now, but just take a look at this chart. This is the start of XRP's history back in 2013, and this is where we are now, breaking out to a new all-time high in the yearly chart. We are in the early days of all of this. And I think a lot of people forget how early we really are. One of the biggest reasons why I think people forget how early we are is simply because the thing with XRP and other digital assets is the second they go live, they are trading in the market. When you start a new company, right, a lot of the times no one can actually purchase your equity or see your equity until you go public, until you start raising money. So the project can be going for a very long time before there's actually a chart or anyone can see it or anyone can actually associate when the company started in terms of when money started flowing in and any kind of performance. Because of that, even though XRP has been trading for a while on the market, it doesn't mean that it's really that late in terms of the investment. I want to show you something very interesting here to really help you wrap your head around this. What you're looking at right here is one of the most important companies in the entire world, Microsoft. Not a lot of people know this, but Microsoft equity started trading in around 1986. Now, Microsoft was around before this, but it's important to realize, right? Like, they didn't instantly have equity. They didn't instantly have something to represent the value of the company on a public exchange. And because of that, the Microsoft chart probably goes back a lot further in terms of when Microsoft was actually created as a company. That's not true with XRP, right? It was just always trading. So there's actually a lot of history for a lot of these companies beforehand that I would argue essentially represent where XRP is trading today. But even if you take a look at where Microsoft essentially started trading on its equity, it was about at 10 cents. Now, where's Microsoft trading today? Right now, Microsoft is trading at $400. Now, the reason why Microsoft is trading so high is because it's a very important company in the world. They deliver real utility to lots of institutions and corporations in terms of a real world financial product that is massively helpful to corporations all over the world. I believe that same exact thesis is going to play out for XRP. Only I believe XRP and Ripple are going to be vastly more important than Microsoft. Yes, Microsoft's important, but when you really break down what they do, it's a lot of office tools, right? They have data centers that are important, but I don't think that's really nearly as close to as important as a new layer, a brand new rails for the way all money is going to move around the world. And if Microsoft was able to go from 10 cents to $400, I'm just asking the question, why couldn't XRP? Why couldn't an asset that is vastly more valuable than something like Microsoft pull off a similar move? Go from 10 cents, 20 cents to $400. A lot of people say that's a pipe dream. That could never happen. But we have seen it happen repeatedly through time and through history with much less important companies and assets. XRP, if successful, could be vastly more important than any of these things. And in my opinion, it's insane to say that the price couldn't reflect a very similar move. There was no reason in my eyes that XRP couldn't reach these same levels. Because in the same exact way, it seemed absolutely insane to say Microsoft was going to go to $400 when it was trading at 10 cents. People say the same thing for XRP. But the real world utility drove a lot more market value into something like Microsoft than many people could comprehend at the time. And like I said, right, Microsoft, if it was trading in some form of way right when the company was invested, just like right when XRP was invested, this probably goes down to Microsoft being half a penny, right? Literally worthless. And imagine the gains on that, right? Imagine if you could buy Microsoft equity the second it was created, just like XRP. So what I'm trying to say is XRP is still probably in these days of the 1980s to 1990s of Microsoft. And I think it's really important that people understand that when it comes to evaluating, like, what price is XRP going to go to? What price was Microsoft going to go to? Well, it went to a lot of prices because it just kept on going up. Were there dips along the way? Were there times where things look scary? Yeah, take a look at what happened in 2008, right? There was a big sell-off. But over the course of history, it just kept on going higher because the company was solving real-world problems that were vastly important, and people were always going to need the service. I think the same exact thing is going to play out with XRP. And I think people need to realize how early we are to the transformation. Brad Garlinghouse said himself that he believes we are kind of in the 1990s era of the internet, the 1980s. At that point, Microsoft was trading at 10 cents. Close to 25 years later, close to 30 years later, Microsoft is now $400. Do I think it will take that long for XRP to hit similar prices? No, not necessarily. But it's more to show you that these things can absolutely happen even on vastly more conservative scales of looking at these assets. A lot of people are going to bring market cap into this equation. I think it's absolutely nonsense. I don't think market cap has anything to do with any of this. Because in the same exact way, XRP going to hundreds of trillions of dollars seems crazy today, it seemed just as crazy in 1980 to think Microsoft could be trading at the trillions of dollars. So market cap has never been a good argument to say no to any of this. The only way you can say that XRP wouldn't hit these prices if you think XRP will fail as an asset, or you think these prices are going to happen tomorrow. And if you don't think either of those things, then I think it's really important to look at one of these charts and say, hey, was I really at an advantage of getting out of Microsoft in 1989? Was I really at an advantage of getting out of Microsoft in 1992? Or was it an advantage to get out in 2017? You know, a lot of people are probably asking that question. In my opinion, the answer was pretty much always no. Could you have traded and got out here and tried to get in at a lower price? Maybe. But I think the vast majority of people who bought back here ended up being extremely happy just sitting on that and letting it do the work for them, collecting those dividends, making that passive income, and simply just being right to a long-term investment. Guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed the content. And for now, Mickle out.